Yizzo! What?
Hey, guys.
Hey there. Hey there. I put some soft updates on here. I don't know if you have any. Or I can go first. I'll give a soft updates to get a hard one. That work?
Listen, I could give a hard update, okay?
I don't know what that means. um, my Webbies came.
Boom, boom, boom. They're pretty. The cute little
They are
spiral looking
pretty.
things. They're very attractive. Great
They're
design.
pretty. They
Engineering.
came and I almost broke one. One
Oh.
fell out the box and I was like, oh my God. And I'm very proud. They're there. And one might go to Philly. Not at my parents' house, but that's a whole other thing. I'll tell you later because it was very touching. And I'm proud of it.
You should be.
I was like, wow.
Did you each get a Webby? So they sent 3 Webbies out?
No, sweetie. We we talked about, girl, these Webbies were so expensive.
So you had to pay for the actual thing.
You had to pay for them.
Okay.
Each of them.
Did you guys each get your Webby though? Did everybody invest in that
one
archive?
And I got 2 because my partner has 2 Webbies in their house, and I said, "Well, you ain't gonna be the only one with 2."
Wow, that is insane.
And so I spent money, and they were happy for me and
That's
helped.
good.
But yes.
Are they in your house now?
Mm-hmm. They sitting there because it's best indie podcast, and then the People's Choice best indie podcast, which is crazy.
Congratulations, girl.
Thank you. So season 3 recording is underway. We're recording this on Friday. Me and the guys will be recording Sunday. I got to do an outline for that. Didn't do it yet, as much as I harp about outlines. The episodes that we've recorded so far are great. And so I'm just like, wow, good job by us.
Good.
You kind of ruined this update, but I bought Sacred. I haven't tried it yet because we're recording the same day.
You let me come over and use it when I come to New York?
No, because the reason being is because the protein treatment is only 4 treatments. That's not cheap. And that's my boundary of money, where I'm like, you know what? I got 4 treatments. They're supposed to happen every, I think, 2 months. And I'm going to use these 4 treatments. You can use the shampoo, but that's all I got was the shampoo and the protein treatment.
I'm interested
the rest of the girlies I heard were not. Yeah, I got a sample of the deep conditioner just to see how it fares on my hair, because I'm not buying the deep conditioners that just weigh my hair down. Everybody and their mother has told me,
you don't have dry hair.
You're not a deep conditioner girl. I do have dry hair because I have low porosity. Not a lot of moisture gets in my shit. I put my hair in a cup of water. Stayed up top, baby. Didn't go nowhere. Floated above. It said water. Not in here. So the the cuticles. It's the shafts. Because the cuticle is up here.
Cuticle shafts. I know what it means. I got you. I remember all that. Remember we did research that.
Yeah, but what's crazy is when Crystal got her hair done, the sacred scientist lady was like, no, sweetie, that's not your cuticle. Your cuticle is here. Something like that. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that it's the shafts. I don't remember. You're damn right. But anyway, we'll see. Everything that I'm reading is that this shampoo is all that. Hydrating shampoo, got slip, got shine.
Girl, we ain't get paid for all this.
I know.
Y'all got to stop.
My other update is that I had a dream.
Oh, come on. Coretta.
I had a dream that there was a zombie apocalypse. Mm-hmm. I've been re-listening really to The Walking Dead as I wash dishes or clean up the house, where I can't really focus on something. Huh. Yes. Rick. I missed Rick and them. Wow. And Daryl and Carol. And this crept up in my dreams where I was fighting Clarence Thomas in a zombie apocalypse.
Well, that's a very Highly likely.
Listen, I realize how angry I am at him. More information has come out about this little raggedy motherfucker ruining people's lives. And it was weird. It was a zombie apocalypse, but do you remember the scene of Brianna fighting the bear in Game of Thrones? That was the setting.
She called her Brianna.
Brienne.
Damn. You made it.
Why is she Brianna?
A little ghetto in there. Brianna. I'm Brianna of Tar.
Anyway, but we was in there straight fighting and not boxing, like clawing at each other.
Oh my goodness.
Like going crazy. And then like it morphed into a comic book where like I was ripping the skin off of his face. Like,
whoa,
like it was melting like
you
Uncle
hate
Ruckus.
him.
And I woke up and was like, you really don't like him. You're really angry with him. Like in a deeper way than what people can understand with his $4 million of fucking gifts that he was given from these rich ass Republican billionaires so that he can just go ahead and ruin all of our lives. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't know what that means. I might ask my therapist.
She can be like,
she can be like, you need to relax.
Can you tell me about your relationship with your mom, please, or stop?
We haven't even gotten there, child. That poor lady. She is so young. I hope she makes it.
I didn't tell that I started my therapy as well.
Child.
I'm gonna be going to my third one. I thought she was a white woman. But she's a black woman. And I was like, I'm so happy you're a black woman. And she was like, thank you.
You're annoying, yo.
I don't know why that cracks me up.
You talked to her on the phone and what she just didn't?
No, I went to see her in person because I like to see the therapist.
When you thought she was white.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to her on the phone and I was like,
that's a Curb episode if I ever heard one.
And then when I saw her, but the fact that she said thank you versus like, oh, or interesting, or yes, I am. She was like, remember when she was like, you're Beyonce? And Beyonce was like, thank you.
Thank you.
She was like, you're a black woman. She was like, thank you.
That makes sense. You're a black woman. Thank you. Absolutely. That was like Van was talking about the BBI and he said that they took out.
For those that don't know what that means, what does that mean? Not
they should know
what
because
the
they should
means.
be caught up on the episodes. God damn it! The BBI is the Biracial Bureau of Investigation.
Oh God!
And he was saying that Mother's Day was a big day for the BBI. That anyone associated in his group who is biracial needs to be investigated by the BBI. But he said that there was an investigation launched and it was a quick one. And the verdict is I'm one of them. I'm black. And I was, it's like me being like, thank you. Thank you. I would say that, like, thank you. And I think I said, like, that's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Oh, congratulations. Webby's as well as getting off of the BBI's investigation list.
That was like, wow. Thank you. I've always wanted to be
the most biracial response as well. I love that for us.
That biracial angst. He ain't say that about you.
I said us as biracial people.
Period. I know, but I think you're still being investigated.
Oh,
I think he's shocked that you're even biracial, I'll be honest. So I don't think that you were even investigated. He's just like, is she? Like, really? That don't make sense.
Well, they uncover my white family, they'd be like, oh, well, no, this is a totally different type of investigation that needs to be under.
That's what I said. I don't know if I would. He said, well, he looked into your mom. I said, if you did that, I wouldn't have passed.
Bad Barb's different now. I don't know about her.
Oh my God. I haven't heard about Bad Barb's in a minute. I don't know what she doing. Where's she at?
She all right. She hanging in. Shout out to my mother, my white mom. Let me tell you something real quick. Like, I don't know what it is, and this isn't the first person, but like people, y'all kinky. First of all, y'all kinky out in these streets. Another revelation while I was away is that I might could be a foot model. I might could start an OnlyFans for my feet. And Oh shit, I didn't get to mention. Fuck, that's very, very bad of me, and I apologize. The last week's episode, I didn't shout out all of the amazing help that I received during the Roots picnic, because I didn't talk about the Roots picnic. That's why. I didn't talk about Andre 3000 and him tooting on that flute.
Talk about it now.
First of all, I would be remiss and wrong not to mention, shout out to Joy, shout out to all the amazing listeners. First of all, Joy actually came and helped work the event and did an incredible job and represented for the Sable Collective. She was the Sable John for the day, traveled a far distance to do it. I so appreciate you. You did an incredible job, and I'm still processing that had happened. So I just want to say that, as well as all of the listeners that came up and showed love and didn't make it weird, because sometimes it could be weird, but it definitely felt like I was just like, hey girl, just meeting up with family. So thank you to all of y'all. But also, to swing back, y'all also be in my DMs on the interwebs talking to me about my feet. And it was confirmed a while back at the same party where I was concussed.
Shut up, yo.
Somebody came up to me and was like, yo, come here. I need to talk to you. And I was like, what?
He did that?
I'm not going into complete, this is not verbatim. I'm just giving we ain't gonna go all
But
into
he
this.
said something to you about your feet? I thought there was a DM afterwards.
No, this was at the party. He was like, God. Who are you? I was like, who are you? He was like,
I'm such and such. Don't say who
such and such. And I was like, all right. He was like, yo,
oh my God,
I have something to ask you. Like, can I take a picture of your feet? And I looked down. My feet was fucked up.
Remember, I kept staring at your feet because I was like, my feet not done. Her feet usually done.
I haven't gotten my feet done this entire season. That's a shame. And look at my nails. I am actually falling off. I'm no longer a hot girl. No, I'm a mess, actually. But anyway, I haven't got my nails done yet. No pedicure. So my shit was fucked up. Some Birkenstocks on. Ashy, toenails jagged. It wasn't even like, you know how you don't get your nails done, but you like cut them and at least
you ain't
it's even.
file them or nothing.
I fucked up. This nigga was boinging in his pants for them fucked up feet, okay? He said, yo, can I take a picture of your feet? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah.
I can't believe that.
He was like, yeah, man, like, I was like, what, you got an OnlyFans or something? He was like, yeah, something like that. I was like, no, you got to show me what you're talking about. He was like, all right, well, come over here. Mind you, this kid is like 26 years old. This is a young person. He takes me over.
Tell us that we were there.
Because I
you told me afterwards.
Because I was concussed. I actually 2 minutes later ran into the street and slammed it against the concrete, so it slipped out of my mind.
Oh my God.
He pulls me over to the side, and I was like, what? Let me see. You got OnlyFans? He then pulls up an Instagram page in which there are numerous videos of this man licking, sucking, massaging. And the angles in which he took of the feet were so strange. Like he liked the soles of their feet. And he was taking them in strange places as well. They were in bathrooms and beds with. It was weird.
It was weird.
And I was like, how much you gonna pay me? And he was like, how much you want? And then I caught myself and I was like, okay, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you. And I scurried away.
You should have got some bread for them toes, them nasty crusted toes. You got pretty feet, but they were struggling then. Imagine if your feet would have been done. He lost his mind.
No, maybe he likes the kink, because them feet weren't all that cute on there. Like,
they weren't.
I don't know. But
they weren't.
I might put some toe rings on and some anklets and figure out what y'all like, because y'all like y'all kinky out there. Kinky reggae.
I cannot believe that. I can't believe that happened. I did not know that there was a conversation. I thought that it was just a DM afterwards.
Oh, no.
You did not properly explain that to us.
He pulled me to the back.
Oh, no, I got to get back on the group chat, because I don't think any of us really understood that you had a full-on conversation.
Yeah, and then I was
And
I
you
was like,
asked them how much.
How much you gonna give me for this?
That mixed with, look at my cut right here. It's too much.
A
It was too
mess.
much going on.
It was complete chaos.
We gotta
on the
stop,
Mother's
'cause
Day weekend.
we gotta stop. We telling too much.
mess.
It's too much. Cut it out. Yeah, that weekend was. I was looking at y'all like, my friends. All right, we don't have any voicemails, y'all. We had one
No
voicemail. I forwarded it
voicemails.
to you. Did you listen to it?
I read it.
You didn't listen
should
to
I
it?
listen to the voice? Is the voice
You should listen to the voice.
If the voice is voicing, then I might,
It was somebody shooting the shit out they shot. And they kept
Oosh.
saying, I've been watching you. And I was like, she ain't been here in fucking 6 weeks. What you talking about?
His backlog.
What you mean? Backlog?
He might be looking at the Save Collective. I don't know.
Homie, go ahead and look at the YouTube thing. Get your rocks off. Go crazy. But I think that you should
How old did he
respond.
sound?
I have no idea. I didn't listen to it. I sent it to you. I tried to
Oh, you
I
didn't
saw
listen.
I saw the shot being shot and I said, let me respect her privacy. Transcription could be wrong. Even though, it comes through with the transcription. So I'm going to just
Those are
send it her way.
tricky. Because last time I thought somebody was shooting a shot, this nigga wrote 17 paragraphs and then was like, but this ain't for you. This is actually for Antoinette.
No, he did. Stop.
Yes, it was. And you listening to this right now, dog, don't ever do no shit like that to nobody else again. Because that is...
He don't listen. There's no
Yes,
way
he
that man
does.
listens to the podcast.
He listens very intently, evidently. But dog, whenever you writing a paper or doing anything, when you're making an ask, you gotta put that in the first sentence.
Statement. Make it clear. No, that was during the Valentine's Day thing. Yeah. So we
The nerve
thought
of you.
We thought it was for you, and then it wasn't.
But he made it. The way he was talking, he was like, "Yeah, I
He
feel
was
similar to
complimenting you like crazy.
And then he was like, "But actually, you cool and all. But actually, this is for." I said, "Oh, that's hurtful."
Let me see the hold on. Let me see. What is this for your area code? Let me see where this dude at. He in Arizona, girl. Take a trip.
It's true.
Or he used to be from Arizona. He could be over here now. I still got a 215 area code. I'm still out here looking like I'm from Philly. Get it done.
If you're in Arizona, you guaranteed to have done ayahuasca or meth.
What? You better call that man back. The transcript read nice.
I gotta hear his voice because if he came through with the come through, I might be like, oh.
What you gonna say?
I'm be like, hi, did you call looking for me? Hi, I'm returning a call. Hello.
You can text that number from the account if you would just log in. You could start texting him from there. And it won't be your phone number to see how he corresponds first.
Long distance love.
Let's take a break. You gonna sing?
After these messages, we'll be right back. What you need, Joe?
Boop.
You miss
what
me?
You need?
You want something? No? What's up? I'll be done in an hour. Go ahead. All right. And so we're back. Before we took the break, it was a very brief explanation as to why the break was happening. And we thought we'd do our due diligence to go deeper into the cause of the break and both of our experiences, because we had two very different experiences, and just offer some insight and some clarity to the listeners and supporters, and share some updates with everyone. I don't quite remember what I said as to why I was taking the break, but during that time, I felt the need for some clarity. I felt like I was overwhelmed in my life. And I think I did mention this in all the areas of my life, and that I was at a point of I couldn't hold it in anymore, and that there was a lot of things that I was holding in or trying to manage internally, and not sharing it with Antoinette, and not really offering myself the space to untangle and release a lot of what I was feeling. And the feelings consisting of exhaustion in a lot of ways, of not being honest with myself about my capacity, of feeling like I have been moving at a pace very much a survival pace of trying to keep everything together, from the Sable Collective to being majorly a single mother in the care of my daughter, as well as Around the Way Curls, and feeling very disconnected from all of those roles, and not having a grounded why, especially in Around the Way Curls, with a partner, Antoinette, who feels very grounded in your why and in the vision that you have. And I felt myself because of my own background and my own trauma, the more I'm aware of the way that I'm operating, and the discomfort in continuing dysfunctional patterns with my shit has always been withholding and avoiding. And so it's kind of been building up to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. And so, however fragmented, however short-sighted, I had to take a break to sit back and figure out why I am feeling, one, so disconnected from this work, why I show up in our friendship the way that I do, which is a repeated pattern of avoidance, as well as not knowing how to name the ways that you trigger me or you affect me, or the ways that I don't like dynamics in our relationship, as well as just trying to find some grounding, just trying to find a way to just stop and not feel like my obligations are more important than my own sanity or my own ability to hear my inner voice, which I think has been wanting me to hear it. And so that was the reason that I took the break. And it wasn't sexy or to what I said before, it wasn't planned out. It was just very abrupt. And it wasn't something that you even knew was coming down the pipeline. So when we think about your response to it, I think it's I'm not going to speak about your experience, but that's why I had to take the break to figure some shit out and to ground myself. And I think to see myself and to hear myself a little bit more deeply rather than just this go, 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 keep going and ignoring the internal conflict that that I've been experiencing for a while now.
I think something that it's important to me is that you actually didn't ask for the break. I think what happened was that you confided in friends of ours about how you were feeling, and they gave me a heads up. And this was after a couple of phone calls around taxes that didn't go so well between us, where there was tension. And you still avoided. And so I reached out to you. We had a couple phone calls, or we had one phone call that was probably not the best one. Not one where we're screaming at each other and fighting, but just one of like, I'm taken aback and recognizing how much was being withheld and managing my hurt around that and my own shock and genuine confusion, because based off of other conversations that we had right up to that and other actions that's really nobody's business. And then about a week later, with one of our friends who has helped us navigate this, I suggested it. And your response was, I don't know why that's not even a consideration. And I think that was really telling for me. I think it was really telling that, I think it was really telling for me that you still kind of didn't come to me with it. I don't know if you had plans on it, but it took for me to go towards you and to say, listen, this is what was flagged to me. And so that was telling of that made me question how close we actually were. And then also what kind of space I provide for you to do that. Whether or not, that's my part, was probably it's most likely a co-creation of maybe not providing the space, how much I'm a part of that versus how much you're in practice of avoiding and not necessarily being courageous to speak up and be honest, like super honest. And so I hear you, but I do want you to be clear that you did not ask for the break, even still.
And I think you should hear that I didn't know I could ask. That's how I've been operating, that even when that's what probably would be the best thing for me, I didn't even know that that was a possibility for myself to ask and receive. So it wasn't less
You've taken
of like
breaks before, though. You know that, right?
but not
But you've,
for a month. That's like, oh, I
you've
have
taken
this
like 3 weeks
obligation.
off.
For what?
And for Sable, for
Yeah,
the
but that's like
Christmas village,
work.
for
That
like,
these are for things that are like, oh, it's that is work that is justified because I have to work. Like it's not just I got to take a beat because I don't feel good. It's like I got to take a beat because I got to do this other work thing, which is understandable and more honorable versus like
yeah.
I'm not well and I have it within my own self-care and sovereignty to say I need to take a break regardless of how that's going to disrupt and fuck up or upset you. So for me, it's an alarm for me of like, you don't even have the self-regard to be like, stop, I can't do this. That it had to be you to be like, you know, you can stop and not do this. And I was like, oh, it wasn't even it wasn't even like, yo, I need to take a break for a month and I'm scared to tell her. It's like, oh, I could take a break for a month. Like that's a possibility. That's something that I can demand or do for myself, regardless of how it's going to make somebody else feel.
I think I could be wrong, but my hope is that whenever you have needed something, that I have supported you. I hope that that's the case. Whether it's my support might look different. It might look like keeping the podcast going while you take a break. Or if you have the Christmas village lining it up and being like, cool. Or if you have whatever, or just calling and checking in, or whatever the case is. I hope that you understand that the more aware I am of what's going on, the less off guard, like the more we had what's his face not what's his face the dating coach Anwar on talk about the difference between being emotional and being vulnerable. Like the more you reveal yourself, I think the more I'm able to actually support you and show up. And I hope that that's the case, but I don't know. We'll just have to try to be in practice, and you can tell me what you need moving forward more, and I can work on trying to help create that space. I hope that this has helped you see that like that is a possibility. But I hear you. I hear you. And I'm flagging that, and I'm glad you said that so you can see that like, yeah, you didn't, yeah, like I actually do want that from you. I think that would help our dynamic in a lot of ways.
I think it will help me and I think what's frustrating is that I want this to be really linear, excuse me. And I want it to be like, oh, I did this thing, I feel better, I see myself. But I think there is profound grief and shame. There's a lot of sadness that I think I'm holding right now in realizing that inability and the ways that is present in a lot of my relationships, which then demands that I have to go back to understand where that started and how that helped me survive at a young age to develop that like feeling that it almost feels like when it's a feeling of yes, it's like, I think there is this thing, oh, Shanti's cold, Shanti's shut down, Shanti's, you know, not loving, or whatever the thing may be. And I think that it's not that I don't feel safe enough to share that with people. I don't feel individuated enough. I don't feel separate enough. I don't feel grounded enough in myself to share that with people. I don't feel, I feel in our relationship, I'm very sensitive to how you feel, or like this boundaryless thing. I can't quite explain it, that I'm growing out of, or I'm realizing, and being like, girl, this is about you. This is about your experience, and you can't be afraid of what people are going to think, or what, or you can't shut off the possibility of being cared for and seen in a particular way. My mind always goes to negative, but I think in this break and in this disruption in our relationship, it's also revealing about how it mostly is cutting me off from a particular kind of care and support and connection with people, when in my mind I'm thinking that if I am going to be honest, or if I'm going to like share,
Somehow you're protecting that.
I'm protecting them. I'm maintaining what we have going. I don't want to disrupt what we have going. I don't want to, push you away, or make, or have conflict in a particular way. So it's like, it's, yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah, so it's not a it's it's gonna take more than a month, and I hate that in a lot of ways, because I really did feel that it's like, oh yeah, it's linear. I realize this thing, but it's actually making me have to sit with a lot of other feelings, and a lot of other in this moment, it's like sadness and grief and shame and anger as well, that I have to tell niggas about, I guess. I don't know, like I'm in therapy, I don't know. This is a new bottle has been opened.
I think you have a prompt on here of like how this affected one another, and you're talking about you being on break. I think for me, it was very difficult while you were on break. I think even right now, if I'm being completely honest, there's a lot of stuff that we've talked about offline. And what I'm realizing is, and we've talked about it offline, that we've agreed that we're not going to say on the podcast in order to protect our relationship from the public, and to do, which is fine. What I'm realizing is the protection that you talk about, and this thing about just, for this concept of just keep going. There are so many relationships of mine and things happening in my life right now that are deeply painful and produce a lot of anxiety in me. Your break being one of them, because I even now don't know kind of where you stand with everything, right? With this thing that we've built. But there's another thing that people know, that I have somebody in my life who's addicted, who's having, and they had a hell of a month this month, that required me to go back and forth to Philly, in and out of hospitals, rehabs, running around, buying things for them, just fielding calls from insurance, all these things that have such an impact on me that I cannot talk about, that I cannot authentically express. And so even right now, I'm trying to choose my words really wisely in this conversation, and it's difficult. It was really difficult to show up with people who I love, with friends of mine, some I'm closer to than others, and act like everything's okay. Yeah, Shanti, just want a break, when there's all of this uncertainty and insecurity on my end. And you've said it, I thrive on security. And this is the most insecure I've ever felt. And so a lesson for me was to just like, you can only control what you can. And right now, you have to determine what's important to you, what's going to make you feel good. It's not going to feel good to not record. You love recording. It's not going to feel good to not meet your quota with Gumball, in terms of the ads. None of that's going to feel good. It's going to feel bad. And you're in therapy, you're doing the best you can, and continue to do it. On top of, going to a funeral, on top of just all kinds of family stuff. So that was something that, like, managing that while also doing this thing that I love, that I don't look at as just being productive, just churning out stuff. It's like, no, this is actually like a space that I feel really good in. Was really hard. It's still really hard. And the other thing that was and is painful, that I recognized during your break, was that I don't think that I have the option of that. And you talked about our dynamics, the dynamics in our relationship. And me not having a real option for a break in that way impacts it. And I saw it very clearly, of like, oh, this is how this is showing up between us. And all of these, like, feel, just knowing that doesn't feel good, even in this moment. And trying to hold the two things of like, well, that doesn't feel good, but in this moment, that can't be the priority, because your friend is saying she's not okay. And regardless of how it impacts you, regardless of how it impacts this business, this community that you've built together, you have to hold the two things at once. And it's incredibly difficult. But I'm up for the challenge because I love you. Yeah, I don't know.
I think similarly, there are boundaries that you are learning how to uphold, and that if you had said to me, there were things that you could have asked me in your vulnerability, in your need, in your trust, that I would be like, okay, that you could have asked, so that it would have felt, so that you couldn't have carried it all by yourself, that you don't know that you have the space to extend and to unburden yourself as well. because there were conversations that were had about don't worry, don't do anything, that I would have never ever been like, I'm not gonna. I would have been like, for sure, I'd have figured it out. But I don't think that I don't think that either of us are in practice of that or trust each other to ask. I think it's always an internal thing before it becomes how it plays out with somebody else. But I think that that's something that is a possibility as well, that I don't know that you what to speak of, probably in your history, maybe mostly in your history with me, maybe that's not something that you could ever, imagine that being possible, maybe with other people more so. And I can understand our history in thinking that. But I think and I
that's
feel
really important, Shanti.
what?
I think that what you just said is really important, is that our history does not lend itself, and I don't want to get into this on air, but there are things that I have asked. There is help that I have asked, and it hasn't gone that way.
I personally don't have the tools in this moment to like unpack it without help, so that I can see myself more clearly, so that I can then see you more clearly. It just feels, so in this conversation, there's probably ways that I'm not hearing you, I'm not seeing you, and I want to, but I think we need help in doing that. And I am open and committed to doing that, because it is deeply, for both of us, connected to our work, our shit,
It's like,
it is our we trigger each other. We are puzzle pieces in a lot of ways, that through you and by you, I can love myself more honestly, and I can, or authentically, and I can do the same. I can then love you and see you. So
yeah, I feel the exact same way. I don't think that I'm hearing you or completely understanding everything at all. I also think that because I love you, that some of it's hard to hear. I'm still open to hearing it. I do think that we need help. I'm glad that we are in a relationship where we are open and ready and willing and have already made plans to have some help. I think that it's a testament to our relationship. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at one of the first episodes of this year, and we're 13 years in and we're still married. This is, when we talk about the fucking work, I mean, this is it.
it is.
It really is. And I'm not pressed on if half this shit got to be edited out. I don't care. It's not about fucking content. Our relationship and us working on it is not about content. There's not about to be a clip of dun dun dun. No, that's not a way to get fucking views. So we need to make a decision on that so that we can mark it up. But I don't think that you're going to know somebody this long and be in business with them and be doing taxes and shit with them and not ever reach this place. I think that we're in our marriage. It's, well, what did we say yesterday? The car, the engine light is on, and we got to take it to the shop. And so this means that, yeah, we're gonna finish out June. We got fucking requirements. Fine. Episodes might be shorter. And then come July, there's going to be a break. And there's going to be a break where we are going deep diving. And we're going to see where we come up and what we've learned about each other and see what happens next. But I'm committed in that break to being more honest than I think I've been. And I hope that I offer space for you to do the same. And to go, if there's anything that I learned, is that you have to go with the fucking flow. You say it all the time. There's only but so much you can control. And so can't do anything else.
Ashe. Namaste, a baby. Well, Shanti's back. That's a shame.
You're annoying.
The range of this podcast. One thing we're gonna do is entertain the people. That's for sure.
Is that entertaining?
I guess. I don't. It's
maybe
terrifying, but all right, y'all. Hope y'all have a good day.
Bye.